Welcome everybody to episode 28 of the Take Aim Gamescast. I'm your host, Scott Mills, the Microsoft/PC expert. And I'm joined on my left by Brett Wolf, the PlayStation expert.
Hey, what up? Happy and sad that E3's over. So, yeah, it's always like one of the best weeks in video games, so a little bit sad about it. But
we got one more day of coverage that we can go over here, though. So
gotcha.
Yes, we got today's episode. And on my right, I've got Eric King, a little bit of everything / Nintendo expert.
Hey, what's up, guys? I have a lot of thoughts on this E3. I'll save it for later in the show, though.
Everyone's always with like the suspenseful opening.
Give a little pause between.
He always has to like
build the suspense up.
Yeah.
And of course, we have our mascot that you will see occasionally, Rocky.
Rocky, yay! And he always has to go outside at worst time.
Yeah.
But
it's alright.
Just a matter of time before he starts flipping his bowl around.
I'm sure that's gonna happen probably in the next 25 minutes.
Yep. So on today's episode, we're going to be covering each conference, what stood out to us, and all the news that we saw from each of the conferences that we made our predictions for last week. And then once we're done going through the conferences, we're going to update you guys on who won the prediction game that we did last week.
And there was some controversy towards the end.
There's a few picks that were
Shouldn't have been any
debatable.
controversy, but someone tried to make it into...
No, I think it was a fair argument, but, you know, I'm not gonna... It's a stupid... Like, it wasn't even like money's on the line or anything, just bragging rights, so I'm not gonna, you know, cause arguments over stupid shit like that, so...
Yeah, and we'll hear what those arguments were a little bit later. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to go through each conference in order from chronological order of when they happened.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start off with Microsoft. That happened on Sunday at 4 p.m. And I'm the Microsoft/PC expert, so I'll start off. I thought that they did a spectacular job. I think they really benefited from Sony.
Oh, you're supposed to let the other guys talk first. Come on, host. You just wanted to beef up.
I think they really benefited from Sony not being at E3. Because now developers that maybe would have shown their games at Sony's conference were showing their games at Microsoft's conference, and people see this game associated with Microsoft, maybe they're more likely to buy their game for Microsoft. But no, we saw Cyberpunk really stood out. Ori and the Will of the Wisps looked really good. Double Fine got bought by Microsoft, which I'm a big fan of Double Fine, and Tim Schafer, who develops those games, so I think that was a great acquisition. Ninja Theory showed off their new game, Bleeding Edge. Overwatch fans might be interested in that one. So those are kind of the big highlights. I'm going to turn it over to Eric first. What were your thoughts on it?
I saw you like my post on Twitter, Scott, about the Xbox.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you like that one?
Yes. The X and the smug look on Phil Spencer's face.
But, yeah. I thought they had a pretty good conference. I thought the conference was actually very, very well paced and everything. I thought they had a pretty good conference. They showed a lot of games. The issue I had with their conference was it wasn't a lot of exclusives, but you know, they just acquired all these studios last year, so it might be a little bit soon for them to be showing off a lot of exclusives at this point. But I like that they talked about the xCloud, and they didn't really focus too much on it. I think they have it in their heads that it's the future, unlike Google, who seems to think the future is now. Yeah. And that's, I think, still,
their strategy
years down the road.
xCloud was interesting too, that they would push it out to all Xboxes, and the Xbox is like your server instead of where Stadia is, they just host the whole server.
But yeah, I think they said that they're testing it out, what, in October or something, or did they mention that? I don't know.
I don't think
I
they
only
mentioned
mentioned
a date or anything.
so that's why Scott didn't get one of his predictions right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's good that they're planning ahead for the future and want to stay on top of things. But I mean, games wise, as far as exclusives go, I thought the first game that Ninja Theory announced, what was that?
Bleeding Edge.
Bleeding Edge. I thought that looked interesting. Looked kind of like maybe an Overwatch sort of game, which, as you guys know, I'm big time into Overwatch. But the thing that worries me about that game is I don't think there's enough space for like 2 Overwatch type games. I think that's kind of like one game.
Competition is good.
I don't think 2 games can sustain viability, but we'll see on that game. I think that's probably still another 2-3 years out at least. But I predict it'll be like another Battleborn. By the way, I don't think it's gonna be up there with Overwatch, but
okay,
we'll see what they can do.
Battleborn in terms of like critical and commercial success, or by gameplay?
Success.
Okay.
Like,
I don't think it's gonna be
I played Battleborn before Overwatch, but I thought it was pretty fun. But people just think they didn't do it. But moving on, other games that I was impressed with. I mean, that Slender Man looking game, I guess, was sort of interesting.
Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
That was
Yeah.
cool.
I mean,
cool.
I guess that looked kind of interesting. It looks like a Slender Man, though. I mean, I don't know. We'll see on that game.
I mean, obviously
There was one game where it was overhead and it had like the 2 people in like the living room or whatever.
Oh, 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes. I thought that looked pretty
That
interesting
was cool.
because that seemed like it was very
It's like
like dialogue driven.
Day repeats, like it's
Which,
just like 12 minutes.
I mean, Xbox seems like they lack in dialogue driven games, so I think that would be interesting. Halo.
Yeah, that,
I mean, Halo's Halo.
That is going to be a launch title for the next generation Xbox. We found out, which I thought was great. I mean, Microsoft, they kind of needed to announce that. I mean Halo is identified with Xbox. So.
What they didn't mention was, is it gonna release on Xbox One? I'm assuming. Like, I think a lot of stuff. I think Xbox One's gonna last like longer than
At least
gens.
Xbox One X, I think, will last longer.
Yeah, so we'll see on that. But I mean, Gears. I thought they focused. Like with Gears, my issue was they didn't show like enough gameplay. They didn't even show any gameplay for Gears, did they? I mean, they were too concentrated on fucking having this cool stage that they come out on and like, hey, let's go.
There's WWE Superstars, AJ Styles, and Xavier Woods.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, come on, just show us the game. We don't gotta fucking have this cool stage and all this shit. But I mean, I'll let Brett talk a little bit about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's hear.
So I guess my as a PlayStation fan, and even though I've had an Xbox since the console's been come out, since the original Xbox, I thought the conference overall was good. I disagree on some of your points, Scott. One, I think with Sony not being there, it was their chance to really get the conversation in favor of Microsoft, and I feel like they just didn't really separate themselves in terms of like convincing people to get an Xbox. You mentioned that people would associate a lot of those third-party games with them, but people watching E3 usually aren't going to be casual gamers, so they're going to know that those games are not exclusive to Xbox. Yeah. So I just don't see that being a part of it. As
going off of that point,
I mean, marketing though, like people's psychology and
but marketing though
in the back of your mind. I mean, you just.
But marketing and TV shows though, like it's still gonna. Yeah, they might show the Xbox jump in after the game is shown like in the commercial, but I'm sure they're gonna show when they show like box art and covers. They're gonna show PS4.
Going off of your point with, I don't think like Halo doesn't fucking sell next gen for me anymore. Like I think they think like, oh, we announced Halo, everyone's gonna be like on board. That doesn't sell next gen for me anymore. They gotta have more exclusives. Like, because I'm only gonna buy one console next gen. Obviously, I'll still have a Nintendo, but like between PS4 and Xbox, I'm only buying one console.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like I mentioned this multiple times in the past. I really think Xbox they should and will go forward, really trying to push their software on other consoles. Nintendo's probably going to be first, and I really see them coming to PlayStation eventually. I know there's a rumor going around that I read today that Phil Spencer is trying to get the Master Chief Collection on the PlayStation 4. I didn't read the article, but it was mentioned, so I can't speak of how much of a truth there was to it. But that seemed like it was a few years ago before they started really updating the Master Chief Collection for PC and everything like that. But yeah, so going to my point, like, I thought Microsoft had a good conference. I thought their reveal for next gen for the Xbox Scarlet was kind of just like a response to the PlayStation 5, and they didn't say anything new that would have separated from the PS5 of what Mark Cerny talked about in the Wired article.
Yeah,
I've been reading a lot of articles too that PS5 is supposedly more powerful. I mean,
Yeah, there was
I think it's going to be incremental. I think the consoles are going to be similar in power.
They are. It's gonna be just like this year,
That's what it sounded
and
like,
they won't. They shouldn't be as far back as they were when they were released in 2013 in terms of PC power, as that they were old. That's old hardware in those boxes.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a lot better. Hold on.
Rocky's
So
got
Rocky
straight.
has like a branch shades product side, but
What a nice present.
What are you doing?
yeah. But yeah, I think Xbox could have did a lot better than what they did in terms of showing a lot more of their exclusive games. And I was very disappointed about a couple of their games like Ori. I was hoping that game was coming out this year because it does look really good. So I agree with you, Scott. It does look really good, and with it being pushed back to 2020, or that was actually release date, it wasn't pushed back at all. Whatever it was, that was kind of disappointing. We didn't hear anything. I didn't expect anything from the initiative. The studio's so brand new. Some of their, like the Blair Witch game was pretty cool.
I'm disappointed Playground wasn't fucking there. They didn't even have a new
Yeah,
Forza.
I was upset about that too.
Yeah.
I was hoping to see a Fable.
Turn 10 didn't even have a new Forza.
Yeah, well, they talked about they're not releasing a Forza this year.
They're not releasing one this year.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, 'cause
So
it's
they're taking a
been-
break
it's
from the
been,
Forza
you know,
games,
Yeah, it's been
which I think is good.
They're probably waiting to make it a launch title for the next Xbox next year.
Well, usually they go Motorsport with Turn 10, and then they go.
So this year with Motorsport with Turn 10, but yeah, I think Scott's right. I think they're gonna make sure that they have a decent sized library for the next gen Xbox to go along with Halo. So I can see where Forza is coming in there.
Plus, I don't know if Playground, like if their team that works on Forza is going to be working on, whatever their new IP.
No, they have two different studios at
Well,
Playground.
I don't know if they're helping with it or what, because I mean,
Who knows what engine they're working on or whatever? Because I mean, if you have a new engine, people that don't know the engine are gonna need technical support and things like that. But I thought the coolest thing, a lot of people have hyped this moment up, but I thought it was really cool was Keanu Reeves being Cyberpunk 2077.
I was gonna bring it
that
up.
was the biggest hype moment
that
of
was-
the year for me.
Because Keanu Reeves is a guy that's been through a lot of shit. If you ever read some of his background, I didn't want to bring it up because it's a disservice to him as an actor and as a person. I was not surprised that the Cyberpunk 2077 is coming out next year. I predicted that a long time ago, and Scott just couldn't believe it until it actually happened. So I had a smile when I saw that.
What about the grant, though?
Yeah, so the grant seemed like to be non-existent
No,
factor.
that was the thing. They announced a hard release date, didn't they? That's all I said.
No, you said the grant, if it did come out in 2019.
By
then the
July.
grant-
No,
Yeah,
it's
so
not
that-
what
July.
I said.
It was by July.
I
It's
said
supposed to be out.
there was a release.
Whatever it was, it's not coming.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that.
No, you said it wasn't out by July that they didn't get the grant.
I
Well,
thought.
they'll have to take it up with the Polish government. I don't know anything about the.
Well, I
Polish
just want to wrap up
government.
our Microsoft talk
This
before we
is
go
just
on
the
to
rumor.
announcements. But yeah, I was disappointed in Battletoads. I didn't think Battletoads looked that good. I wouldn't even see a release date for that game. That
I've
game
never played
seemed
Battletoads. So.
like,
Yeah, I think I must have fallen asleep for that moment because I didn't.
yeah. I feel like Xbox started off
Battletoads
strong,
being
and when you started watching it, you
Oh,
first.
I love the Outer Worlds. That was perfect. They started out with.
Well,
that
you
game.
saw Obsidian
That
go
was really
first
good,
with
yeah.
Outer Worlds, and then you saw Bleeding Edge from Ninja Theory. So you're kind of thinking, wow, here's all these first-party studios really starting the conference off. And I think once they started really getting to their ID at Xbox with their indie games, the whole middle part after Cyberpunk 2077 was shown on stage really slowed the conference down for me. I got really bored,
Yeah.
and nothing. And then towards the end was the whole talking about the Scarlet, which again I thought was nothing new, nothing like it was for the Scarlet. I mentioned this to Eric too. They talked about the whole time when they were making Scorpio and Xbox One X that this was the most powerful console in the world. But I caught Phil Spencer talking about at the conference saying this is our most powerful console we've ever made. So he did not, because I don't know if he knows PS5 specs, but he's worried about he want to go out there and put that
more information than we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause we
for
know
him to say
PS
that,
PS5 is probably it's almost guaranteed to get revealed before Xbox One actually releases or Xbox fucking Scarlet or whatever releases.
Yeah. So I just think that was just a response just to the PlayStation 5 spec talk with the Wire.com article of Mark Cerny. And I was not surprised. I predicted Halo being the launch title for the Xbox One X, next gen Xbox, and we didn't see any gameplay of that. So this is a trailer. And
what about predictions?
So predictions. So
we're doing the predictions.
Any final thoughts on Microsoft again?
Microsoft's conference. What we got right now?
Well, yeah. So let's go into that because we're spending a lot of time on this conference.
Okay.
So there's our different opinions. We all checked. I think me and Eric are kind of on the same line. Scott felt a little bit better on the conference. So the first prediction I got that we got right was Eric. In terms of order of when we predicted them, Eric predicted the next gen Xbox announced for 2020. I predicted a new game announced by Ninja Theory, which is Bleeding Edge. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. I also predicted a new game from Software with collaboration of George R.R. Martin, which is Elder Ring. Which I think
we didn't talk about that.
I'll be surprised that game doesn't come out next March.
Yeah.
Next March, yeah.
2020.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. And they didn't really show anything about it. But,
Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne were worked pretty much at the same time. So I'm assuming Sekiro and Elder Ring were working at the same time. So I wouldn't be shocked if this doesn't come out next year. So I really think they're going to start working on the next PlayStation game after Sekiro. So they might be working on it right now. So I think they have one more game with PlayStation.
So when do you think they're going to reveal actual gameplay or anything? Game Awards or?
Probably the Tokyo Gaming Show, if I had to guess, or maybe Gamescom. But my best guess would be Tokyo Gaming Show in the fall. Next was Scott with the Outer Worlds hard release date for 2019, which you got right.
Yeah, right off the bat too. That was the first thing they showed. I'm like,
Scott's getting hyped. He's like, I'm gonna get everything right.
And then I, with the final correct prediction, Halo Infinite announced as launch title for next gen Xbox. I was very confident in that because I think they needed to do that. Even though I think Halo just needs to really, I talked about in a tweet I made that they really needed to show some ingenuity and make this about Master Chief and maybe I'm so sick of the Prometheans. I would like to see classic gameplay with the Covenant again and the Elites and the classic enemies.
I would like to see that too. So people in the chat, let us know. Are you excited for Halo? Because
I want to be. I want to be.
Yeah, I want Halo to be good again.
I do too.
2343 Software can learn from their previous games.
Have you guys liked any of the ones by 343 yet?
I have. I don't remember 4 and 5. I remember 5 just because of Locke, but I don't remember 4. But I can tell you what happened in Halo 1, 2, and 3, and Reach.
Yeah, I really haven't beaten 4 actually, but 5 I enjoyed 5. I played through the whole campaign.
I've just been disappointed in 343. But again, I love I grew up with the Halo franchise, and we all did. So especially people like me and Scott had Xboxes, and then we were there from the beginning.
Mature games.
So the final scores for Microsoft were Brett with 3, Scott with 1. So
you should be the Microsoft expert.
Or a little bit of everything, I guess. And Eric with 1. Sean with 0.
Yeah, I proved my little bit of everything expertise, as you'll see.
Moving on!
Okay, yeah, so we're on to the Bethesda conference. Was Sunday night. I guess I'll go through what they showed off here. I thought that Bethesda did a good job of just showing what they needed to for people because we kind of knew a little bit about what all they were going to be showing. I thought they did a good job of showing people that Fallout 76 is getting better, that they're improving it.
I was waiting for an apology for that. I was just sitting there, I was like
I think Todd
where's the apology?
Did though. He was kind of
he was kind of joking around.
He kind of sidestepped around.
Yeah, he kind of made like a little joke about it, like he knew it fucking sucked.
I thought the updates they're making are good. They're bringing the battle royale mode to it, and new story quests with NPC characters, which are sorely needed in the game. So that was good. And they showed off updates for Elder Scrolls Blades. They showed off the new Elsewhere expansion that already released for Elder Scrolls Online.
I wish they would have went more into Elder Scrolls Blades.
I thought Elder Scrolls Blades should have had at least a half hour.
Well, we already knew that they were going to be bringing Arena and the jewelry to the game because it was in the beta that those are coming soon. So that was not a surprise there. And there was a new mobile game called Commander Keen. I actually played the old PC Commander Keen games, so I thought it was cool they're reviving that. I wish it was an actual game for consoles and not just a mobile game.
I wish they would stop talking about mobile games so much.
Yeah, that's what
at their conferences.
Yeah, so they had a lot of mobile. But then when they finished up with Doom Eternal looked really good. They had some information about Stadia too, how they developed this revolutionary software that makes streaming better on Stadia. And that was basically it. I thought Doom Eternal looked really good. But Eric, what did you think of the conference?
Yeah, Doom Eternal looked really good. I didn't expect this to be like a big year for them because everyone knew Elder Scrolls and Starfield weren't going to be there this year. But the next year, I expect to at least see a little bit. I'll probably see some Starfield next year, I would expect. I don't know about Elder Scrolls, we'll see. That might still be another year down the road after that. Yeah, I mean, what else did we have? Did anything get revealed at Bethesda? What was that one game?
Two big games. I'm reading it right now because I forgot the names.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
so
to say
Deathloop, that was a game shown by Arcane Studios, which made Dishonored, and I believe they made Prey too. Pretty positive about that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, and that
that looked interesting. That was like that little ninja game or whatever, or not ninja.
No, that was like a space station one. I think they were like the viewers were treated to an extended scene setter for the game, which unfolds as a showdown between co-protagonists Colt and Julianne.
I think I'm thinking of the other one.
Yeah, the other one was like good in Japan, and they had all the
it had, like samurais or whatever.
Yeah. So that game is called Ghostwire Tokyo. It's made by Tino Gameworks, and they're known for the Evil Within franchise, making 1 and 2.
Yeah, that looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
They didn't show much on these games though that they revealed. Like it was just trailers, and you got really no idea what these games are. So, but yeah, Doom Eternal looked fucking sweet. Wolfenstein looked cool. I love Wolfenstein. I actually like Wolfenstein better than the Doom series, at least so far. Obviously, Doom only had one like current gen game so far, but I mean, it was about what I expected from Bethesda. I would say their conference was probably the worst in my opinion out of all the conferences.
I don't know about that. I thought there was one.
I mean,
when we get to it, which one?
There was one that stood out to me that was really, I think, the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it was between them and Ubisoft, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually didn't watch Ubisoft, so.
So
I don't know about
I guess I'll just go with my thoughts right now. I thought for Bethesda, I thought it was an okay conference. I think all the Doom things were really cool. Showing the gameplay, showing the setting.
What about running that Jared didn't like in the
Oh yeah, so I guess Doom guy was grunting.
Dude, he was because I wouldn't have noticed that Jared wasn't talking about it.
Yeah, it was really comfortable to listen to, and Jared did not like that. I think they spent a lot of time in Fallout 76, a game that not a lot of people. I think a lot of people bought it, were a lot of people disappointed. I think they were trying to build some goodwill between the consumers and them. I knew they wouldn't apologize for it and kind of sidestep it and say, hey, here's what we're doing to improve the game. This is why you should buy it. So they gave a free week demo for it.
Yeah,
I downloaded it. Is it 2 weeks? Yeah. Okay, I thought it was only from June 10th to June 17th.
It was 2 weeks.
Okay, then I'm wrong about that. But anyways, but I thought Doom was cool. Yeah, Fallout 76. Human NPCs coming was, I think, a good ad.
Yes.
They announced a Battle Royale mode. I think it's 52 people, if I'm not mistaken, or 54.
Yeah, don't they have well, maybe it just ended, but didn't they have a beta or something?
There's a beta going on right now for that. I haven't tried it out yet, but I am going. I do plan on taking a look at it and trying out those new updates when they come out.
Elder Blades, I don't like mobile games, so that did not interest me. I think Wolfenstein Youngblood, I haven't played the Wolfenstein series, but Youngblood looked pretty cool. I thought Ghostwire Tokyo looked like a really cool game for me, and I would be interested in that game. So I'll definitely check that out and be on the lookout for that. But besides that, that was kind of just it. They just spent a lot. I know they talked about Elsewhere for Elder Scrolls Online. I've been playing a lot of that with Jared into March, and for $40 even the base game. That seems a little bit pricey to me, but I think I'm okay with just a base game.
Yeah.
But that was just just another Bethesda conference when we talked about this before. We didn't expect Starfield or Elder Scrolls 6, and they were talking about that.
I think those two games they are building for the next gen consoles.
Yeah, Starfield's not coming out next year. I can bet you $10 on that. So prediction wise, Scott, Fallout 76 update bringing NPCs to the game.
Yeah.
And that was only prediction correct for Bethesda. So the standings are Brett with 3, Scott with 2, Eric with 1, Sean with 0.
And so now let's move on to the next conference, which was Ubisoft, which showed off Monday at 4 p.m. I think was when their conference was.
Yes.
And I was at work, so I didn't get the chance to see the Ubisoft conference. So I'll let Brett, I'll let you start off on that one.
Okay, cool. So for Ubisoft, I thought this was the weakest conference. I was really bored watching it. They spent a lot of time talking about Ghost Recon, which we already seen a release or announcement trailer for. They talked. Watch Dogs
really
was.
lasted too long.
I never played the Watch Dogs series. People that like that series, that's cool. But I was not interested in Watch Dogs at all. They spent a lot of time on that game, and I couldn't look at the clock. I'm like, are they gonna move on? Like, with cool. And plus, they started the conference with a Assassin's Creed orchestra that's gonna be going on tour, which I thought was kind of lame. But I thought they did well. I did a good job, but
I thought Watch Dogs looked bad though. Like, I already played like Watch Dogs 1 and a little bit of 2, and I didn't like either of those. And this one looks even worse. Like, they're concentrating too much on doing all these. Oh, you can play as any random fucking NPC or whatever. Like, I feel like that's just gonna make the story even worse. Like, they're not even generating these stories. Probably they're probably just randomly kind of generated. Like,
they've been ever since Watch Dogs series started. They've been trying to push this as a big.
Well, I think their thing is like,
who is this game for?
I think the thing with that is like they revealed Watch Dogs 1 way back whenever, and everyone was fucking like hyped through the roof for that game. Like, it looked sweet, and I was like. And then later on, it came out and it looked nothing like the freaking reveal.
Critical, it kind of bombed out.
Yeah, it looked way worse than the actual reveal.
But they keep making the games,
and I think people are still like hyped for it. That's the problem. Like, they don't understand that people don't care about the game. Really.
I felt like there is permadeath. So I guess when you do take control of an NPC, they do that. They won't come back in the game, and they were really trying to boast about how each NPC has a different story, and they have different. Voice actors and actresses and things like that. They're boasting about.
I bet those stories are great.
How in depth these characters are going to be. I thought it took way too long for me. I'm not a Watch Dogs fan. I never play the games. I think it just really dragged the conference down. I thought that the Rainbow Six announcement took me by surprise. Eric got that right. We'll talk about that later. That they are coming out with a new game. It won't be a continuation of Siege. Be like a Siege game, but for more of a PvE, not PvP. So people that like me who like PvE games, that seemed pretty cool. They did announce a streaming service, which is I believe what was it, $15, and it was for PC only.
See, initially when I heard the $15, I was like, ooh, that's real steep. But it has like. Didn't they say it has like all the new games or something?
It has like over 100 games.
It has all the new games released too.
I think so.
Which I mean,
they're doing kind of like.
But PC only.
You can just buy, if you want, you can just buy like a month of it and play whatever new game.
And I'm sure it's gonna be somehow tied in with Stadia. I'm not sure if they had talked about that at the conference.
Yes.
But they did specifically talk about it being on PC and not for consoles. Will it come to console? I don't know.
So I mean, if they didn't announce like new games coming to it, it'd be a terrible value. But I don't think it's that bad of a value.
But everything else.
You played Plus is what those
are. So everything else just seems very, very lame, and they showed her Just Dance.
I like that one game that looked kind of like Rocket League. Too bad it's only for PC.
It's kind of like a skating, like a rollerball.
It's like Rocket Ball with people instead.
But I thought it was just a very good conference. I was so bored. I couldn't wait for it to be over.
At the very end, they showed an interesting game called Monsters. I saw the trailer for this game because I saw the highlights of it. Yeah, I thought that was very interesting looking. That got some monsters, but it was just one little
like
trailer.
A Zelda or something. Kind of like Zelda.
That's what I was thinking, like a Zelda type of game. Or something.
I don't think it'll live up to Zelda, obviously, but
yeah. But
the Ubisoft
I thought it looked cool, and that was developed by the same group that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So
good. But that was one of my thoughts on Ubisoft. I was just not. We didn't see anything about Skull and Bone, even though we know it got delayed.
Well, yeah, and they said they weren't going to be there.
Okay.
The Skull and Bones developers.
Yeah, I thought it was a weak conference. I was not hyped about it at all.
We'll see on that RPG. I think the RPG looked interesting. I mean, you're saying it was much worse than Bethesda, but I think they were like, you know,
I thought they were
with
worse
each other.
I thought they were worse than Bethesda.
They were about even, I would say, because I mean, we already knew of most of the stuff coming out with Bethesda, so I mean, they revealed 2 games, but they didn't show much on those stuff.
Okay. Any other thoughts on that? So, Ubisoft,
Yes,
Eric,
final scores.
he got the new IP RPG with Gods
Yes,
and
yes.
Monsters.
There was a little bit of
So
debate on that one, but
they did not.
It's an RPG.
They did not say it was an RPG
I
in
didn't
the
say
conference.
that they were gonna say.
But you said new IP RPG, so I had to do some more research, and they say talk about player creation. So you can role play the character, I guess. So whatever. And then Eric again.
This was the best prediction.
Eric
of all of them
again.
that got correct, I think.
With new Rainbow Six co-op game.
Nobody saw us coming, and I called co-op. And as soon as it put that little title on there, it's like co-op.
that's pretty
experience.
impressive, yeah.
And then Scott with streaming service announced.
Yes.
So Eric got 2 for that one, and Scott got 1.
Yeah, even though we were debating about do I have to get the specific name, and I just said Uplay. Well, it ended up being Uplay Plus, so I half got that right, but we decided to count it. So thank you.
So so
for me.
Brett still has 3, Scott has 3, and
Now,
Eric has 3. So we all have a 3.
if you went back and watched that video, Scott, I was the one that was arguing for you. I'm like, oh, you
Yeah.
play is good enough.
Oh, I know you did. Yeah.
Moving on.
Yes. So moving on, the next conference was Square Enix, which was Monday night, and I did watch this one, even though I was falling asleep through parts of it because I wanted to get to bed so I could work tomorrow.
Can you go longer really quick?
Yeah, go ahead. So Square Enix started off with Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they showed a lot on this game. They showed some of the playable characters, and they showed a whole fight, a boss fight. And I thought the boss fight was really long. I was like, okay, we could wrap this up a little bit.
See, yeah, I thought it looked very good, graphically and everything, but
yeah.
My issue with it is I like turn-based games, and
Mm-hmm.
of course they're going away from turn-based.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking makes turn-based anymore.
Yeah.
And I would have been hyped for it. They would have kept it as turn-based, but
Yeah, I
people
tend
still
to
seem happy with it. So I mean,
turn-based too.
I'm not big into Final
They
Fantasy.
still have where you could kind of pause the screen, they showed where you could do a slow motion type of thing,
Yeah,
where then you could order stuff, kind of like a Mass Effect or even a Dragon Age, but it's not turn based. They're still, once you unpause it, it's still going.
I'm trying to think what else they showed. What would they show after that?
Yeah,
we all know
so
what they showed.
their conference, they showed a lot of games.
They showed that one retro-looking shooter that was World War II or some shit.
Yeah, they just showed a lot of Japanese games. There was a lot of it looked like ports for games that they're bringing to the United States and stuff.
Oh, dude, when they brought up Octopath Traveler, I thought I was about to get it. I'm
gonna get your point.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna be it, and of course they were just.
Yeah.
What were they announcing that it came over to PC or something? We already fucking knew that 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was kind of bored with the Square Enix conference.
I thought it was one of the best conferences.
They
I
showed
would definitely put it
the same trailer for Dying Light 2 that they showed in the Microsoft trailer, so there wasn't anything new there. And then at the end, what was their final game? Marvel's Avengers. So that was definitely the one that everybody is most hyped for, and people wanted to see because they've been completely in the dark on this. They spent a good amount of time talking about that, and there's a big debate on our scoring about whether there was actually gameplay in the trailer,
which there
that
was
they
not.
showed.
It was a trailer.
It was
the whole
scripted.
Thing was a trailer.
It was
scripted.
gameplay!
It was scripted.
No,
But it's still gameplay, though. I
They
didn't
showed a
say-
trailer. It was just a trailer.
But there
And
are
they
reports
showed 2
where
trailers,
the people that did play the game on the floor that said it played completely different from what they were showing. Though.
Whatever.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a trailer. I mean, gameplay, I think, is a whole different thing. Like, if they're gonna go and actually show.
But yeah, I thought it was really funny when they were showing off the playable characters. Like you have the 4 big ones: Captain America, Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man.
What about Black
and
Widow?
then they did Black Widow, and then somebody screams out, "Where's Hawkeye?" And then the guy's like, and he's like not in the game. But then they showed a little thing where like maybe Ant-Man will come in as a playable character in like a DLC or something.
Well, they did mention
They
also
showed
that all the characters that come later on are gonna be free, which is cool. I thought because I'm sick of them trying to like add characters later on and charge you more for it, but
Yeah.
they
So-
didn't say any characters.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes, so Brett, we just went through our thoughts on it. What did you think of the conference?
I thought Square Enix had I thought it was an okay conference. I don't think it was as strong as Microsoft's, but I thought it was okay. I'm not surprised how much time they spent on Final Fantasy VII. They announced a release date for it prior to the conference, and it looks pretty good. I know I saw the collector's edition is like $300 or $400. It's super expensive for that game.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. And I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I never played the Final Fantasy VII game, but I know Colin, who designed our logo and stuff, Colin Oliva. It was pretty hyped about it, and they talked about it not being like the same game as Final, so there'd be like different elements to it, different aspects to it. But again, I haven't played it, so I don't know what it's
so
gonna be.
this is like what they announced is it's gonna be like kind of like chapter 1 of the game, but it's gonna be its own big game. Like they're talking like what 80 hours of content at least like in this game, which so it sounds like this like it's just focusing on the first third of like what the actual Final Fantasy VII game was, but they're adding more to it, which is kind of cool. So
I thought trying to think of what else they showed. Dying Light, they showed that at Microsoft too, but also showed that at Square.
it's the same
That game still looks pretty good. That game's coming out next year. What else? The next big thing was Marvel's Avengers, which you had to talk about when I came up. I thought the character models looked really crappy.
Really?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the character models and stuff.
Good.
Yeah, I disagree. I thought they looked awful. I know a lot of audience, a lot of people that were watching that did not like the way the characters looked, so they disagree with you. But I don't think they look good. The voice actors, you know, with the normal Troy Baker and Nolan North, I thought it was kind of lame. But
I mean, people are used to the movies, like their
Yeah,
characters. So
definitely.
anytime you hear a different voice, it's gonna sound weird.
definitely, I do think a lot of criticism due to the Avengers movies, and a lot of people are like, why can't you just make them look like the actors and actresses from the game? So, but I think it's a lot of promise. I was disappointed they didn't really show, I guess, gameplay in terms of like showing like a HUD and a UI and stuff. But you know, that means it has to be gameplay that shows that and whatever. Because I do think some of those shots were from actually in engine. They talked about that at the conference, that it was gameplay, and they actually showed on YouTube this is gameplay demo. But whatever, I'm not gonna argue over it. But yeah, that's about it. I can really remember. They showed a lot of Japanese games that I like JRPGs, but nothing really, you know, made me go whoa, like this is awesome. So, on to predictions. We have Sean with his first correct prediction. He predicted a co-op mode as part of Marvel Avengers, which is correct.
He was trying to like talk me out of giving him a point for that. He's like, well, they didn't actually say co-op, and I was like, just take the point.
I think I'm pretty sure they did. So
They said multiplayer, but since it's a story game, multiplayer in the campaign. So unless you're talking like you can control the villains during the game, like that's pretty much means co-op. So we gave him the point.
Next was Scott with Dying Light 2 2020 release window, which is correct.
Yes. And I had said that for the Ubisoft conference. They showed it at Microsoft, but they also showed it at Ubisoft, so that was a point.
So going down the list again, Brett still has 3. Scott has 4, so each a prediction correct in each conference so far. Eric has 3 still also, and then Sean's finally board with 1.
I was in the lead at this point.
You have 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the lead.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were like disagreeing with the score.
No,
Oh, okay.
I was celebrating because I'm in the lead and there's only 1 conference to go.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right, moving on.
We'll move on to the Nintendo conference. So since this is Eric's expertise, I'll let him go over the overview of what they showed.
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I don't think I watched the conference straight up.
Oh,
so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I didn't watch the conference like live, so I didn't watch it in order. But
I didn't either.
they showed Animal Crossing, which I thought. I'm glad they showed gameplay.
What you were trying to argue that too?
What?
You're trying to argue the Animal Crossing.
Well, no,
you
they
were just
showed-
saying
no,
gameplay
No,
trailer.
you're right.
Okay.
No, you got point for it because you said specifically you're like, oh, it's gonna be a trailer with like an engine or whatever, which is exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, the game looked, what I expected. I'm still super hyped for it. I'm kind of disappointed that it's coming out in 2020, but did they show Marvel? I didn't.
Marvel
Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, did they show that?
It did show that.
See, I didn't see that because I just went back and watched videos like on the conference. I didn't actually watch the conference all the way through, but I don't know. Did that look good?
Scott was hyped about it.
Scott, what'd you think
Scott,
about
do you
it?
have your parents' names as like their
What's
names,
that?
like in your phone?
Yeah. Well, no, I have it as
I have
but then it's
I have my parents as
it's
like
really
old people
weird how
emojis.
it's,
Yeah, no, Scott had his as like his mom and dad's like first names.
it's fine, yeah.
Okay.
But it does. There is context for mom and dad, but I don't know. It's weird. Don't.
But anyways,
how
go
my
ahead.
phone works. It just works. I know that. It
All right,
works,
what'd you think about that Marvel?
I mean, I think it'll be okay. I think that the characters look a little cartoony still, which is kind of weird to me. So I don't know how excited I am about it. But
Well, you can't play it. So.
yeah, I'm probably not gonna be unless I come over. If you get it, then I'll come over and I'll watch you play.
You can buy it and come play it on my console, but
That's right.
I mean, yeah, I didn't see anything on that, so I can't speak on that. They showed Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
They showed quite a bit on that, and they had gameplay like after the conference. And of course, they didn't put a release date on it, but they said it's still supposed to come out in 2019, which I don't understand how you can say a game's supposed to come out in 2019 and not put a fucking release date on it. But we'll see. I guess that's coming out this year. We'll see when it finally gets fucking announced. But yeah, that looked cool. I didn't play any Luigi's Mansion previously, so I can't speak on the gameplay much on that. Show a lot of Fire Emblem, which I'm hyped for that game. I'll be buying
That's
that.
still coming out in
I have that
19, right?
Yeah, July. I have it paid off already, so that's ready to go. What else did they show? Oh, Breath of the Wild 2. That game looked.
There you go.
I mean, they didn't show a lot on it.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I think did they show any more on Pokemon Sword and
They
Shield?
did. They showed a corgi Pokemon. I think it's called like
You like that?
Yeah, so I have a
Yeah, I
corgi.
thought you said it was supposed to be like Pamper or some shit.
No, like Gamper or something. Pamper.
You said Pamper when
Yeah,
you
it's
texted
like,
us like a couple
yeah.
weeks ago. You're like,
But
there's a
I called it though. I said it was like the electric corgi. There's a leak on 4chan and I saw that.
Okay.
So that was really cool. I can't really remember what else they showed about Pokemon, but it was nothing crazy. They showed like the water gym trainer.
Okay.
I think they had like a demo of it at E3. The media can play it.
Okay.
Consumers. So my impressions. I thought this was the best conference at E3, and the reason for that is because it's exactly what I expected out of Nintendo. Whereas I thought Microsoft, I think would have had the best conference if they didn't drop the ball when it comes to really putting Sony on their heels. I thought Nintendo was exactly what I was expecting.
that Bowser shit was fucking
The
cringy.
Bowser was the cringiest thing. Am I surprised by it? No, but it was super cringy introducing him. God, I wanted that memory to just go away. I thought everything they showed, Animal Crossing, which is what we expected, Luigi's Mansion. I thought the Breath of the Wild 2 announcement, in my opinion, was like the announcement of E3. I thought it was the biggest news for E3. I thought it was huge. I think it looks really cool. I know it's a CGI trailer, but showing like Link and Zelda, showing it's a sequel to the original Breath of the Wild game.
I hear rumors that you might be able to play Zelda.
I saw those rumors too. I would be disappointed in that.
That'd be kind of weird.
But again, I guess saving Zelda each and every time kind of gets old.
Change up the story.
I think this game is going to be coming out, I would say, 2021. It's not going to be that much further away than I think people think, because they're going to be using the same engine they used for Breath of the Wild.
It'll be sooner than Metroid.
So, I thought that was the announcement of the show. What else?
Link's Awakening they showed.
Yeah,
I'm actually really hyped for that game, because I do love like
remake
those,
of that.
bird's eye view type.
Yeah, the top down.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm hyped for that game.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered that and have it pretty much paid out.
I played a little bit of it from the Game Boy Color. I think we had.
Yeah, that'll be a game that will be very that I might even get as well for my Switch. So I thought Link's Awakening looks really good. And I was not surprised that Metroid was not announced at all. I'm a little bit surprised they didn't really announce a Metroid trilogy. I think that's coming eventually, but I think it might be closer to the Metroid Prime 4 announcement.
They might just kind of even put it in some random
Nintendo
direct.
Yeah.
I thought no news on Bayonetta 3 was kind of concerning when they announced a collection of Bayonetta 1 and 2 a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I thought that game was going to be right around the corner.
Yeah, they announced 3 2 years ago.
Yeah, I thought that was very, very weird and confusing.
Platinum Games for you, I guess, because they announced what was it, a fucking Dragon game for Microsoft.
Oh, Scalebound?
Yeah, and then that just got put down basically because I think they were taking too much.
Yeah, Microsoft I think shut that down. They still own the IP, but Platinum Games was taking way too long for that. I was no Pikmin 4, which I really want to see a new Pikmin game. Talked about that before.
Did you ever play Pikmin?
I think I played a demo of it back on the GameCube.
Dude.
But we got it at Walmart.
That's not.
You gotta play it, dude.
Yeah, I really
like the co-op. Me and Nick used to play the multiplayer where you face each other. Oh my god,
yeah,
it's so much fun.
And
What the?
And we have a first party foul on Take Aim Games.
I should get minus points for you on
I'm gonna
those.
watch this over and over again.
Minus points for her.
Scott Burton get pulled over when he's going driving home, because he smells like alcohol.
Yeah, it's your blood alcohol.
God damn. That was watch the computer though. But
nowhere.
But yeah, I thought it was a very strong conference. Like I said, it was everything that I expected. I thought the Banjo-Kazooie announcement was really cool. What they showed,
Master Chief.
with this the way that they showed up Donkey Kong, like Diddy Kong and the Crocodile King, whatever, and they showed a little teaser of the dog and bird from the hunting game, and then they showed Banjo and Kazooie dropping down. So I thought it was a really cool trailer to kind of show that as a DLC character. But yeah, I thought it was the best conference at E3 this year. So is everybody anything else on Nintendo?
I would agree with that. I think it's the best conference.
Okay. So the predictions for that one were Sean with Banjo-Kazooie announced a Smash Bros. DLC character, Brett with Animal Crossing gameplay release date, Eric with Witcher 3, Sean again with no mention of Metroid at Nintendo's conference. None.
Yeah.
So
surprising.
Sean got 2 from that one, Eric with 1, and myself with 1. So the final standings were Eric, Scott, and Brett. The 3 of us at the table have 3-way tie. The first time in 3 years. My winning streak has been over. Well, I'm tied now.
Unfortunately, we had no
tiebreaker somehow.
And then Sean comes up the rear with 3.
Sean did try to score these himself, and he gave Brett an extra point on the Ori, because in the video, if you watch our last video, you say Ori with a release date, and I don't think you said 2019 in the video, but you wrote down 2019 in your spreadsheet. So that's.
And there was another prediction that was stupid. Was I announced the Doom Eternal gameplay and release window
for 2019,
and I showed the release date, but I was confident that Eternal was gonna be the release date was gonna be given at QuakeCon. So I was like, oh, they're gonna show a release window and then give a hard release date at QuakeCon. But that was me overthinking it. So yeah, that's I think overall it was this is a very, I guess, unforgettable E3 in terms of when we're gonna look back at this in a couple of years. A lot of games were announced for 2020, and not a lot of big games coming out this year besides maybe Link's Awakening, Doom. What else?
This is unforgettable for you?
Oh yeah.
I think it's gonna be.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be
Forgettable, you mean?
What did I say?
Unforgettable.
Oh, I guess that doesn't make any sense. So, I think it's gonna be a forgettable conference, E3. God damn it.
For a while too, though. That was big.
Yeah, but
it wasn't like hype. It wasn't like a hype moment though. Like they just let you know.
I think next year's would be again. This is always the year the Xbox really shows the big guns. And I think Sony's definitely be coming back next year.
What was your guys' biggest hype moment this E3?
I think for me, I guess it was the Breath of the Wild announcement.
I think Cyberpunk 2 when what's his face?
Keanu Reeves.
I caught that one. And then I liked Outer Worlds, and I liked Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
But were those hype though? I'm talking hype.
Oh yeah, I thought that.
So
I started playing Ori and the Blind Forest
like
because I saw that.
Scott's like
Ori and the Blind Forest.
Scott's like, heck yeah.
Yeah, I started playing the first Ori game because I saw that trailer. I was like, wow, that looks really good. So, and then Outer Worlds, I've been really excited for this game.
Scott really hypes up his game.
Scott hypes up every game.
That's right.
Yeah. Whatever's on his draft.
Psychonauts 2. That was their.
But we do have after this conferences, I think the fantasy draft is up in the air. I think Jared has the inside track.
Jared,
because a lot of his games are coming out this year and they're bigger games.
Mm-hmm.
You think a lot of chances.
I'm screwed. I watched Ori.
Scott is definitely screwed.
I watched Ori. I watched Animal Crossing. Those are two like 90 plus. Right there,
yeah. So you lost those two. I lost Cyberpunk, obviously.
Well, you had that loss
and then
we drafted it.
I actually picked up Biomutant because I had seen that there was going to be 2019. Summer 2019 was the release window for it, so I'm like, okay, E3, they're gonna release the release date because there is a leak that says July 1st, 2019, and goes by, and there was no mention of Biomutant. There was a table, I guess, there, because I saw a YouTube video where guys were playing it at the E3 conference. It looked like the same trailer that we played at PAX East. And then some guy in the Destroy All Humans outfit comes over and he like does a thumbs down to them and they're like, are you trying to tell us to play a different game? And he's like, and they walk away and they're like, okay, on to the next game. I'm like,
sure there's no government grant out for that game?
Oh
or
no.
Whoa.
I even picked it up like after PAX East. I'm like, oh yeah, this game's gonna be coming out this year.
I don't know if people will be getting thumbs down.
So,
I thought it was pretty fun when we played it.
It was fun. The demo, but then it's been out there with no news for over a year, like no new news.
Right.
So people are getting mad about it because
it's like they built it just for the demo and then haven't worked on anything else.
Nothing.
There's one prediction I think that should have happened, and I was kind of like hoping it was going to happen. Was Shuhei Yoshida shanking Phil Spencer? And he was
yeah.
That was one I'm pretty
confident
confident
for it.
That was one I'm pretty confident.
Yeah, so surprising that didn't happen.
But I just think it's going to be forgettable E3. I think it's because not a lot of games coming out this year. I think the game of the year is going to be wide open. I think it's going to be between Death Stranding and Resident Evil 2, if they even count Resident Evil 2.
I don't think Death Stranding is going to be good. I'm sorry.
I think it will be.
I don't think so. I mean, I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is up there. Sekiro got very good critical reviews.
Trust me, Fred.
And then Devil May Cry 5 got very good.
I see Devil May Cry. I haven't even got. I tried to play Devil May Cry 5 and I just can't get into it.
What did you say? Resident Evil 2 and Devil May Cry?
My game of the year so far is Resident Evil 2. That's the game I had the most fun playing so far.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, is Call of Duty gonna take the title back?
I don't think so. I think Doom's gonna be up there. I think Death Stranding's gonna be up there. But
I think some sleepers are Fire Emblem and Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
I think Link's Awakening is a sleeper because I think that's gonna be.
But
because they took it like a few years ago with like the same type of game. What was it? I don't remember that one. You like changed into like 2D. I don't remember what the fuck it was called, but it was on DS. It was a Zelda game. Something, I don't remember.
Time. Link. The Time Between Worlds, or
Yeah, or War Between Worlds or something like
I
that.
think it was or like A Link Between Worlds or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game I think got like some Game of the Year awards. So.
But I think what, in my opinion, I think we really just missed Sony being there as kind of like the the yin to Microsoft's yang, and then like
Yeah,
something.
Even Phil Spencer, I think, said he missed it.
Yeah, well, I think it's also on the E3 organization committee. So I think because I really think he's trying to get in bed with PlayStation eventually. I really think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, and a lot of these like even reporters like Jason Schreier and stuff were saying like E3 was like empty this year, like it felt like half filled.
Yeah, so like we talked about whenever Sony said they would be missing out on E3 this year. I mentioned that E3 is kind of winding down as a big thing. I think it's still a hype moment. It still has hype moments, but I think gradually it's starting to. It really needs to reinvent itself. I think letting the audience really come in. Just kind of cheapen it. I think it's easier for people just to go to PAX or have their own, especially with the internet being so prevalent.
Yeah.
And streaming and YouTube and Twitch, you can release a direct, quote unquote, 8th random day of the week, and you have all the news coverage that whole week. You know what I'm saying? Instead of sharing information with all these other publishers. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I thought it was probably what made me laugh the most was just during these conferences, and you have the people sitting in the crowds, and there's clearly like people that they paid to sit in the crowds and be like, yeah, woo! And they're like the only ones
that was
cheering,
lame as fuck.
and everybody else was just like, I think Bethesda was worse with that. Like, they just had a guy like just screaming
hype man out
the
the
whole
crowd?
time. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you can definitely tell all of the conferences do
I was
that.
paying attention to
It's
that.
hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Oh
lame.
man.
They're like, we're adding new servers.
That or they're just being smart asses, who knows, but
But yeah, on that note, I guess that wraps up our E3 for 2019, boys.
Mm-hmm. I also paid attention to a little bit of the PC gaming show. Evil Genius 2 was released. That was kind of cool looking. There wasn't anything much there new that really excited me. They showed a little bit on Baldur's Gate 3 again. And yeah, other than that, I didn't see too much.
sure we want to talk about EA?
Anything on Mountain
Oh,
Blade?
EA play. No, Mountain Blade 2. They
half-hour
said they
Sims.
weren't going to be there. Like they never are there anymore because the game's been in development for like 8 years.
You don't want to talk about the half-hour segment on Sims? Like,
Oh, from EA Play. That was so. EA
I
Play
told
was
you guys it
terrible.
wasn't going to be like a
It
conference.
was very
That was trying to argue with me
cringy.
about
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, it looks good. We were saying like the graphics look a little bit dated, but the combat looks really fun, and the story looks like it could be decent too. So, and they said it's gonna be canon to the Star
texture
Wars
is terrible
universe.
in that game, though.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, wow, for a big like a mainstream budget game, like you would think they'd have top-notch graphics, but it didn't seem like that.
But no, it looks interesting. We'll see on that game.
Yeah, that was really the only interesting thing. Madden 20, they had the X Factor. I think it's cool that they have like unique powers for each individual
I think they
player,
talked
which
about
is kinda
franchise
cool.
mode too, and said they're concentrating a lot more on that. I don't know exactly what they said, but
Yeah.
which excites me because I like franchise modes. So.
Yeah, those are the two main ones that I watched from EA Play. So yeah, I think that'll about wrap it up on our fantasy draft that we talked about. I still have an open slot to pick up a game, and Jared still has an open slot to pick up a game.
You got some tough picking here because
I know. I was thinking about Baldur's Gate 3, but that game might not come out this year. Like they announced it as a launch title. They announced it as a launch title for Stadia, and Stadia's coming out this year. But then I was seeing reports. Well, hey, you guys, wait up! It might not actually come this year because they're saying it'll be here when it's ready.
You go to the bread and butter, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. I mean, I might have to at this point. I was hoping to see a game that is definitely wow. That's coming out this year, and
there's nothing.
But then some games got delayed, and then it's
everything got moved back. Nothing got moved ahead. So.
Yeah. So thank you guys for paying attention. I hope you guys watched E3. I hope you guys enjoyed E3. Let us know your thoughts on the different conferences that happened, and what you liked the most. What were your most cringy moments? Which conference did you like the worst? And please subscribe to our video or our channel and like our videos. We appreciate any support that you guys give us. And with that, we will catch you guys next week.
Later, guys.
See you.